A 170-pound Great Dane named Titus would not leave this little girl's side. Not for a nap, not for a meal, not for a single minute. When this couple first brought their daughter home, everyone said the exact same thing. A dog that size has no business near a baby. One clumsy step and he will crush her. A black Great Dane so tall his back cleared the kitchen counter, shadowing a newborn. The neighbors called it an accident waiting to happen. 35 different people told them to rehome him. 35. And then, on an ordinary afternoon, when their little girl slipped out an open gate and toddled straight toward a busy road, the giant everyone was afraid of did the one thing that proved every single one of them wrong. This is the story of how the biggest dog on the whole street became the only reason a little girl came home that day. Whitney and Evan Parker lived in a quiet neighborhood in Round Rock, Texas, on a street that ended at a busy 4-lane road. Evan worked long hours as a mechanic. Whitney stayed home. And 2 years before their daughter was born, they had brought home a black Great Dane puppy with paws too big for his legs and ears too big for his head. They named him Titus. By the time he turned 2, Titus weighed 170 pounds and stood so tall that with his paws on the counter, he could look Evan in the eye. All long legs and lean black muscle and a head as long as your forearm. And he was, by every single measure, the gentlest creature either of them had ever known. But the world does not look at a dog that size and see gentle. Then Whitney got pregnant and everything changed. Not with Titus, with everyone else. Her mother called first. "You cannot have a horse-sized dog around a baby," she said. Her sister mailed her articles about big dogs and infants with the frightening parts highlighted in yellow. A neighbor named Ron, who had never once spoken to them kindly, suddenly had opinions about a 170-pound animal near a newborn. Even the pediatrician raised an eyebrow. The pressure built for 9 straight months. But Whitney had watched the way Titus had started sleeping across the doorway of the empty nursery weeks before there was ever a baby inside it, folding all 170 pounds of himself into the smallest, most careful shape he could manage. And she made her decision. Titus stays. I see you're still here but haven't subscribed yet. After what Titus is about to do for this little girl, you'll want to be part of it. Tap subscribe. It means more than you know. What none of them understood is that a Great Dane is the gentlest giant on earth, and this one had quietly appointed himself the most careful creature in that house. From the day they brought Millie home, Titus decided she was his, and as she grew from a tiny bundle into a walking, talking, bossy little toddler, that never changed for a single day. Where Millie went, Titus went. 170 pounds of Great Dane tiptoeing behind a 25-pound toddler, like an enormous, worried shadow, placing each paw with the care of a dog who knew exactly how small she was. And Millie, for her part, ran that dog's life. By the time she could walk, she had appointed herself his groomer. Every single afternoon, while her cartoons played, Millie would plant herself beside him, pull out her little plastic hairbrush, and drag it across his broad black back with tremendous seriousness, grooming a dog who did not have a single hair out of place. And 170 pounds of Great Dane would sit upright on the couch like a person and let her, blinking slowly at the television, the picture of patience. Titus learned her routines better than she did. He knew when she was hungry before she fussed. He leaned his whole enormous weight against her the way Danes do, gently, like a horse falling asleep, and he drooled a river that Whitney chased around the house with a towel in every room. Titus ate like the horse he nearly was, and he invented rules the whole family had to live by. Rule 1, Millie did not sleep alone, ever. Titus lay across her doorway every single night, facing the crib, and then later the toddler bed. Rule 2, mealtimes were a shared event, and he sat beside her chair catching whatever she dropped, which with the toddler was a great deal. And Rule 3, the one nobody understood the importance of until it mattered, was that Titus did not like the gate. The little side gate that led from the backyard out to the front of the house and the street beyond, he watched it. Whenever it was opened, for a delivery, for the trash, for anything, Titus would rise and station himself in front of it, a towering wall of dog, and he would not move until it was closed again. Whitney thought he was just being nosy. She would learn otherwise. The months passed, and Millie grew into a bright, fearless, busy little girl who adored exactly 2 things in the world, her cartoons and her dog. But outside that house, the fear never went away. At the park, parents scooped up their children the moment they saw the size of him coming. Ron still crossed to the other side of the street. A woman once asked Whitney to her face whether she thought it was safe to keep a dog that could knock a child flat just by turning around. Whitney just smiled and kept walking, because she knew something all of them did not. She knew that the single safest place in all of Round Rock was the patch of floor directly beneath that dog's chin. Then came a Saturday in September. It was a busy afternoon, the kind every parent knows when you turn your back for one moment. A delivery driver had come to the front door, and Whitney had signed for the package and set it down, and in the 30 seconds it took her to carry it to the kitchen, the side gate, which the driver had swung open and not latched, drifted wide in the breeze, and Millie, who had been playing in the backyard, saw the open gate and did what a curious 2-year-old does. She walked through it. By the time Whitney came back to the yard, it was empty. No toddler. An open gate, and beyond it, the front of the house, the driveway, and 40 feet past that, the 4-lane road where the cars came through at 50 miles an hour. Whitney's heart stopped. She ran, and when she came around the front of the house screaming her daughter's name, what she saw dropped her to her knees. Millie was standing at the very edge of the road, one small foot already off the curb, reaching toward a plastic bag tumbling across the asphalt in the wind. And between that baby and the 4 lanes of traffic stood 170 pounds of black Great Dane. Titus had followed her out the gate. He had not barked, he had not panicked. He had put his enormous body between Millie and the road, a wall she could not see over or get around. And every time she tried to step past him toward that fluttering bag, he shifted, blocking her, easing her back from the curb with one long leg and the side of his body, gently, patiently, refusing to let her take a single step into the street. The same dog the whole street had called too big and too dangerous. The same dog 35 people had begged them to rehome. The same 170-pound Great Dane every one of them had sworn would one day hurt that child, stood at the edge of a 50-mile-an-hour road and became the only thing in the world between a curious toddler and 4 lanes of traffic. A car blew past, and another, and Titus did not flinch, and he did not let her by. Whitney reached them, snatched Millie up off that curb, and collapsed onto the grass, sobbing, clutching her unharmed daughter, while 170 pounds of Great Dane finally stepped back from the road and leaned his whole trembling weight against the both of them, now that his girl was safe. The delivery driver had seen the whole thing and pulled over, shaking. He told Whitney he had watched that towering dog hold a toddler back from the road like a lifeguard, using nothing but his own body, and that he had never seen anything like it. Whitney knew with a certainty she will carry for the rest of her life that if she had listened to those 35 people, if she had rehomed the dog everyone feared, that Saturday afternoon would have ended in the worst way a story can end. There would have been no wall between her daughter and those cars. There would have been nothing at all. Instead, Millie came home. She walked back through that gate holding a fistful of the loose skin at Titus's neck, and the giant who had stood between her and 4 lanes of traffic walked her home one careful step at a time. Word spread through the neighborhood the way news like that always does. The woman from the park who had called him a hazard left a card in the mailbox. Ron, the neighbor who had crossed the street for 2 whole years, knocked on the door, looked up and up at Titus a long moment, and said quietly, "I was wrong about him." Titus accepted a single scratch from the man and then turned right back around to find Millie. Today, Titus is 4 years old and Millie is 3. She still brushes him during her cartoons every single afternoon, and he still lets her. He still lies across her doorway every single night, and Titus still guards that gate like it owes him money, rising to plant himself in front of it the instant it opens, because he understood, long before anyone else in that house did, exactly what waited at the end of their street. And the 35 people who swore they should get rid of him have all gone very quiet, because here is the simple truth every one of them missed. A dog is not dangerous because of his size, or the length of his legs, or the sheer amount of him. What makes a dog is who he decides to protect, and exactly what he is willing to do to keep them safe. Titus decided on the very first day that a tiny girl was his to guard, and when she wandered to the edge of a road that could have taken her, the size that frightened everyone became the wall that saved her life, and he did not move until she was safe. If you are thinking about bringing a big, powerful dog into a home with a child, please do not listen to the fear. Learn the breed, train with patience, supervise with love, and understand that the right dog raised the right way is not a danger to your child. Sometimes he is the guardian angel you never knew you needed, wearing a size the whole world taught you to fear. So let me ask you honestly, would you have trusted a 170-pound Great Dane alone with your little girl, or would you have listened to those 35 people and let him go? Tell me in the comments.